What's up everyone? John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here. The iPhone 5 keynote ended and I want to share my impressions with you about the phone. Let's go ahead and talk about who it's going to be for, why you might want to upgrade, and if it deserves a spot in your pocket. Let's go ahead and get started. So if you want a full recap of the iPhone 5 spec, check out our keynote recap video, but I'll give you just the highlights. We got a new body, it's aluminum and glass, and looks pretty good. It's exactly what's been leaked for the past month. The screen's got a little bigger, same width-wise, it's now 4 inches, give you an extra row of icons. Kind of awesome. We've got a new A6 processor giving faster graphics performance. 802.11a, B, G, and N with different bands. You get a crazy fast Wi-Fi up to 150 megabits per second. We've got a better camera, of course, iOS 6 on there. And the thing that is probably the best that it has now is LTE. LTE emission on the iPhone 4S was a big disappointment for me, especially with Verizon's pretty awesome LTE and what was a very growing AT&T LTE network. Both are pretty mature now. Certainly Verizon's got the edge, but AT&T is catching up. Sprint's got an LTE network that's growing, which is quite nice. So there's going to be LTE goodness to be had. And Apple did this while keeping battery life pretty much on par, if not a little bit better than what we've seen on the 4S. So all in all, it seems to be a pretty exciting package for the iPhone 5. The feature that I'm most excited about, as I mentioned, is LTE, which is something that we've had on phones for the better part of 2 years. Apple really likes to take their sweet time. So some big omissions that I would have liked to have seen. I would have liked to have seen NFC. Passbook without NFC seems like a car without gas. Yeah, it looks really cool, but you can't do that much with it. I would have liked to have seen some sort of NFC communications. It made sense. It seemed like the market was ready, whether or not it was for payment or information transfer. Complete omission from Apple's part. Most phone manufacturers now are doing some sort of wireless charging. You know, plug it in, plug a pad in, put the phone on top of it, and do some sort of charging. I would have liked Apple to have gone that same route, but we can't have everything we want. What we did get, though, was a pretty cool strap for the iPod Touch. So who is this phone for? If you're an iPhone fan, if you had an iPhone 3GS or an iPhone 4 and you're ready for an upgrade, it's going to be a great upgrade for you. You're going to get the latest and greatest of everything. If you're a data hog and you do a lot of tethering and you don't want to carry 2 devices, this is going to be a great phone for you. If you're a big mobile gamer and you want that extra screen real estate and you want the better gaming capability, it's going to be a great phone for you. Who's it not for? The folks just use their phone for making phone calls, for checking email, and for doing web browsing. You're not going to get that much of a difference. If you do web browsing, it's pretty fast over HSPA Plus if you're on AT&T or Verizon or Sprint's 3G networks. LTE is not going to be that big a difference for you, especially if you're with Sprint, since chances are you don't have an LTE network by you anyway. And that little extra bit of screen real estate is probably not going to matter to you that much. So if you fall in one of those categories, you're going to want to think about it. Presumably next year we'll see an iPhone 5S, which will be sort of a better spec version of what we've got right now, and who knows what iPhone 6 is going to be. I don't think this phone is for absolutely everybody. It's got a lot in it, certainly. It's got Apple's secret sauce of an incredibly intuitive UI, beautiful to look at, but the UI is still relatively the same, even with iOS 6. And there are some big omissions in iOS 6 as well. Gone are Google's apps. Google Maps is gone and being replaced with Apple's proprietary, which does give you turn-by-turn directions. YouTube Player is gone, but now there's a YouTube app that Google put out, so it's sort of a draw. So there are 3 big phones coming out, as far as I'm concerned, over the next few months. We've got the Galaxy Note 2, we've got the iPhone 5, and Lumia 920. On the list of, or on the scale of things I'm excited about, 1 being, I don't care, whatever. 10 being, like, gotta have it, foaming at the mouth, can't be out in line a month early. Here's how I fall with those 3 releases. Galaxy Note 2, I'm putting that a really solid 9. I loved the Galaxy Note 1, and this one just makes it way more awesome. 5.5-inch screen, quad-core processor, LTE, 2 gigs of RAM. Really a phone that can't be missed. iPhone 5, I'm giving it a solid 8. I'm very excited about it, but if I had to pick one of those 2 phones, I'd go with the Galaxy Note 2. Apple has not always been about specs. Certainly they control the hardware and the software. It's called vertical integration. So they don't have to have the latest and greatest specs to make up maybe for some software inefficiencies. They can take maybe not the fastest hardware, but make it scream because of software efficiency. So it's really been very impressive. So I do expect a faster experience. So you don't look at the 2 devices, the Note 2 and the iPhone, and be like, quad core, probably dual core, 2 gigs of RAM, probably 1 gig of RAM, bigger screen. Something to keep in mind. And the Lumia 920, give it a solid 7. I'm excited to see what dual-core processor can do for Windows Phone. I'm excited to see Windows Phone 8. I think it's going to be a really awesome phone, and chances are I'm going to carry all 3 of these phones with me in my pocket at one point in time. So should you get the iPhone, if you had your heart set on it and that's the phone you have to have, then yeah, go ahead and do it. You're going to know exactly what you're going to get. There aren't going to be any surprises there. If you're debating with which phone you're not sure, you might want to wait to see carrier announcements on the Galaxy Note 2. Try those phones in person. If you're interested in any of those 3 devices I just mentioned, don't pre-order an iPhone 5 right when it comes out. Wait a little while. Wait till you can get a chance to play with the Lumia 920. Wait till you can play with the iPhone 5. And wait till you can play with the Galaxy Note 2, which you're hearing rumors will be coming in all 4 major carriers in the US. See which phone is right for you. Don't pull a gun on a device, or don't pull a trigger rather, on a device you might regret having for 2 years. Something to keep in mind. Will we be getting an iPhone 5 here? Yes, absolutely. We'll have it on launch day to review for you. If I was just looking to get a new phone, I'd probably wait a couple months to see what else comes out to evaluate which one's right for me. So do you guys agree, disagree? I'd love to hear your thoughts on the matter. I'm John Rench from Techno Buffalo. Be sure to check us out for the latest and greatest tech news. See you next video.